Alright, witches. I don't know if y'all heard that, like, animal. I was trying to record it for a second, but it stopped, I guess because that car was coming. Listen, welcome back to the channel. This is Hectarios, and I'm here to tell y'all, sometimes you gotta take the work to the cemetery, okay? That's where I'm at right now. Okay? This is my favorite cemetery to do workings at here in my local town. Because it goes into the woods right here. Like literally, it just merges into woods. Okay? Listen, sometimes you gotta take your work to the cemetery. I'm dealing with some people that need to be dealt with in this kind of way. Listen, witches, I was having some visions recently from goddess Freya as I'm journeying more into Seidr magic and Norse shamanism. And, you know, in the visions, she appears above my bed while I'm trying to go to sleep, while I'm in a trance state. And she talks to me. And she teaches me some secrets of Seidr magic. Y'all see that? That's a fairy tree. Okay, I'll put the picture that I drew of her. It's a quick sketch I drew of Goddess Freya, the way that she appears to me above my bed. I'll put that as a thumbnail. But listen, she came to me. She's been coming to me a few times while I'm in my bed and getting in that trance state, falling asleep. Don't y'all love this? And one of the very first times that she came to me, I didn't know what the fuck was happening or who she was, so it kind of freaked me out. I hope the wind ain't messing up the sound, because it just picked up right now. Don't y'all love watching that oak moss just blow in the wind? That's some magical shit right there. Okay, though, so yeah, when she first appeared to me, I didn't know what was happening. She kind of freaked me out. I was like, what is this? She didn't say anything. And what actually happened is I started going into a trance state, falling asleep, and I felt my body, or rather my spirit, start to come out of my body, like floating upward. And it was like she was pulling me out of my body. And since I didn't know who she was or what she was doing, it freaked me out. I was like, what the fuck is this spirit trying to pull me up out of my body like this? So I resisted it, and, you know, I fought against it with my will. And I ended up falling back down into my body, and I snapped out of it and woke up. And I went back to sleep after that, and like nothing happened. Well, a couple of days later, that same thing happened. But this time, you know, I spoke to the spirit and I questioned it. And that's when she revealed to me that she was goddess Freya, and that she was there to teach me some of the secrets of Seidr magic so I could get more, you know, into it. And y'all know how I am. I like to learn directly from the spirits. I don't like reading books and shit, or learning from other witches, or reading their material. When I get into stuff, you know, I want to learn it on my own from the spirits. I believe that's how true initiations should work. So she came to me I love that tree right there. It's like old and fat as hell. You know what? That's the same one I said was a fairy tree. Because the top of it looks all dead and looks like horns. Y'all can see that. Anyway, so she came to me. So she's been slowly teaching me when I get in that trance state, when I'm going to sleep, laying in my bed and shit. And one of the first things that she taught me that second time that she came, she was telling me, you know, I'm just going to tell y'all like straight up raw how it happened. So I was laying in my bed. She appeared above it, and I could hear, I'm sorry if the wind's messing us up. I could hear a like airplane or helicopter outside or something in the distance, which is like very rare in my area in the middle of the night like that. And she told me, she's like, do you know why you, what'd she say? Hold on. She said, do you know why you hear that, or what it means that you can hear that? And, you know, the vibrations, you could feel it in your body, the vibrations of the sound. And it exerts a sort of influence on you just by hearing it, just by feeling the vibration of it. And I was like, yes, okay. And she says, that's because, you know, everything that you hear, everything that you experience that's around you, that's part of your consciousness. She said that your consciousness is everywhere. It's basically omnipresent. It's all around you. I don't know if she said omnipresent. She didn't say that specifically, but she said that your consciousness is like all around you, in the environment around you. It's not just focused in your body, in your brain, in your mind. Your consciousness is like an atmosphere. It's all around you. And everything that you can sense or perceive with it, you know, that's why you can, because your consciousness is large, it's enveloping, and it's constantly interacting with the world around you. And she told me all that to say this. She said, you need to protect your consciousness. Okay? You need to protect it. That's one of the first secrets to understanding Seidr magic. That's one of the first secrets to beginning to master it. You have to protect your own consciousness. And you have to know that your consciousness is not just, you know, your mind and your thoughts. It's also everything that you perceive with your consciousness. Okay? So, you know, be careful. Protect your consciousness and what you let into it. This is important because it means that where you put yourself, who you put yourself around, you know, what you watch on TV, what you listen to, what you partake of with your consciousness is having an influence on you. It's having an effect on you. Okay? It is, you know, it's affecting you in some deep kind of a way that you're not even like conscious of. All right? So, you know, that's what she told me. And she told me to protect my consciousness. So what I'm doing, you know, that kind of fits with just how I've been feeling lately anyway. Like I have been stopping watching a lot of violent TV shows and movies, horror movies. I used to be a huge horror movie fan, and I used to just be obsessed with them. But now I'm getting to where, you know, I don't like seeing all that because it does, I notice, have an effect on me. And it's not like a blatant, big, bad effect, you know, but it is having some kind of effect on some level, even if you're not consciously aware of it, you know. So that I've kind of been like cutting back on that kind of stuff anyway, but now that she has come to me and with that specific message, you know, I thought it's time to really, you know, shape up on that And get some self-discipline, get some mental discipline. You know, your self-discipline does not just extend to controlling your own thoughts and feelings. When we were talking about my other video, the purity is power. Remember what I said in that video, which is your reactionary consciousness is not your real consciousness, okay? So, you know, to a greater extent, everything that we allow into our perception has an effect on us as well, okay? And we need to be conscious of that. We need to be aware of it. And we need to try to control it as much as we can to, you know, be positive stuff, nothing negative, nothing, you know, evil, nothing dark. It needs to be positive and good and empowering, okay? Now, I just wanted to share that message because I think it's very important for all of us to know. I seen a demon over here before in the cemetery at that tree. Especially, it was like right up there behind the tree. One night when I was a newbie witch. Anyway, that's important. That's an important message that I wanted to share. And I just figured I'll come on here and give that little bit of a insight into some of the things that I'm learning about Seidr magic. Okay, so if you want to get into these practices and shamanism and stuff like that, then you need to be aware that you need to filter out your consciousness and everything that you perceive to, you know, not be anything that's harming you on some deep level that you're not even aware of, okay? It's important, guys. And, you know, the other message to this video, sometimes you got to come to the cemetery and do some fucking work, okay? I'm over here, I'm trying to sense the energies of what grave to bury these people on and get them out of my life, okay? This is an old ass cemetery. Look, there's broken tombstones everywhere. This is an old slave cemetery, actually. And I don't know why. There's a few more cemeteries in town, actually. Yeah, I'm just not really drawn to the other ones. This one has the most power and energy to me. I think I'm going to bury it here. Let me see. Let me walk around some more and see what I sense. But witches, sometimes you got to take your work to the cemetery. I'm talking about your binding spells, your banishing spells, your destruction work, your justice work. Okay, sometimes you got to come to the cemetery and give those, you know, you got to feed the spirits here, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm doing today. I said enough is enough with some shit that's going down in my life. It's not really affecting me and getting me off balance yet, but I'm trying to nip it in the tail end before it does. So that's what I'm doing with this work. Oh, I just found the exact spot that I'm about to bury this. Over here in the sort of edge of the cemetery. There's this lone grave over here. I'm about to bury it here. Okay. Bring your work to the cemetery, which is sometimes you got to. There's an unmarked grave right beside this one. I'm not going to show this on camera because I don't want someone to come over here and dig this up. Some of my haters that live near me. So, I'm about to get to work. Alright, y'all. I ain't playing, okay? I'm over here in the cemetery I'm about to bury some shit. Alright. This is a binding banishing work that I did. Okay. I'm doing something else, but I'm keeping that shit completely secret because I already said too much about it. Where the hell is the everything at? Yo, I'm gonna have to pause this real quick. Okay. If you're gonna do work in the cemetery, y'all, make sure that you give offerings to the spirits, you know. Don't be disrespectful about it. Offer this to the spirits. Please aid me in this work. Let it be done. I always bring my knife when I come to the cemetery because it is kind of in the ghetto part of town. And I will tell you, I have found a meth pipe in these woods before. I ain't never seen anybody over here, but I will stab a motherfucker if someone fucks with me while I'm doing my work. Believe me, I ain't playing. I'll spill some blood for this work. Alright guys, I think this is deep enough, but it ain't big enough. Did a lot of work in this cemetery, going back years. I know these spirits very well. They will protect me. They have protected me before, several times. This is the cemetery where I got Fanny. If y'all remember those videos of the spirit doll Fanny, that she's from here. Okay. Come, spirits, and aid me in this work. I commit these souls to the grave. Y'all see this? I commit these souls to the grave. Commit these souls to the grave. done. So as I will, I banish you, and bind you, I destroy you. You'll have no power over me anymore. You'll have no influence in my life. You are completely destroyed and powerless and broken before my wrath. So mote it be. So mote it be. So mote it be. Thank you, spirits, for your work and for your aid. Please receive these offerings I give to you. Y'all don't judge me for carrying snacks around, okay? I love these motherfuckers. I hope the spirits like them too. Thank you for your help. Okay, witches. I will hope that was not out of focus the whole time. But let me tell you, there's some power in the cemetery, okay? There's some power in the graveyard. The spirits are here. Do what you gotta do to protect yourself. Do what you gotta do to protect your consciousness. Alright, spirits? This shit is real. We are at war spiritually. And, you know, that means that you gotta stand up for yourself and do what you gotta do. You don't have to like it. You don't have to particularly enjoy it. But it is what it is. And somebody has to do it. Okay? I'm gonna do my other part of this other work that I got to do in the cemetery in secret. I'll talk to y'all later.